Well, as I posted earlier, I just finished a range day with my father and my younger brother, and I'm doing what I normally do after a range day, and I'm cleaning the guns. And I discovered something that I thought I would point out because it kind of caught me off guard. See, this Streamline Pro Tag 2L has given me a bit of trouble since the day I put it on this rifle. I've done a little bit of practicing with it here and there, nothing really hardcore use, but you know, I try to test my equipment in such a fashion that if it's going to give me problems, I'd rather do it while I'm playing with it, not, if God forbid, I ever have to use it. And I discovered something. See, this is the pressure pad, and that's the constant on feature, and you notice the light's not lit up. So you give it a little bit of a wiggle. Y'all see that, right? Now, when this started up, which was just like 5 minutes ago, it occurred to me two things. First of all, this pressure pad's never not worked before, and this light's never not worked before, and all of a sudden I'm having a very obvious intermittent issue with the light. And it's constant, or if you just hold the thumb pad down, which I am, still nothing lighting up until you give that wire a little bit of a wiggle. So I started troubleshooting this and thought to myself, maybe I have an issue where, like, internally there's some issue with the pressure pad, or maybe there's an issue with the wiring, I've got a short. Aggravating, but I can put the factory tail cap back on here. And then while I'm doing all that, I grabbed this tail cap and this happened. Now it works perfectly. This tail cap loosened itself up just from shooting. Now I'm not immediately like super concerned about this because honestly it's something I probably should have been checking, which kind of aggravated myself that I didn't check it, because normally things like these M-lock screws, any kind of fastener, I usually make a habit of checking every so often. But the tail cap on this light is not something that I had on that list, and as you can see, now I have a working light, but a while ago I didn't. And I was running around trying to figure out if I had an issue with a wire or a pressure pad, and lo and behold, it was a real simple fix. Just tighten up the stupid tail cap. So let this be a cautionary note. I'll take a little bit of egg on my face for not having checked it before, but you know, this AR is my bump in the night firearm. This is what I plan to use if I hear the door get kicked in the middle of the night or glass breaking. And we can debate all day long about whether you want a pistol or a rifle for a bump in the night gun, but I like having a little more firepower than the average home intruder. But if there's a bump in the night, I need my light to work. That's why there's a light on this gun and a light on all the other home defense guns. And the fact that it didn't, I wouldn't have found if this were a safe queen. The fact that I take this thing out and shoot it means I now know this tail cap is susceptible to loosening up. I have to check that. And if I hadn't been function checking my firearms and checking my equipment after use, I wouldn't have seen this until it was too late potentially. So consider this a cautionary note. This is why we take this is why we take our guns out to the range. This is why we train. This is why we practice. This is why we check our equipment to make sure this thing operates the way it's supposed to every time I call on it. Whether it's just to go plink it at the range or, God forbid, I have to feed my family with it. So, something to keep in mind. Talk to y'all next time, guys.